Nobody hates women more than straight dudes. And that shit will never make sense to me a day in my life.
Extreme nations, they don't treat women with respect.
We treat women with respect here.
Yes, we do.
That's an American ideal.
Yeah.
Tell me about your shirt. What's it say?
It says, Hillary sucks. But not like Monica.
Hilarious. So we were talking about treating women with respect.
It's an American ideal that we treat women with respect.
You got to give me the back of that shirt one more time. That's too much fun.
Trump that bitch.
We don't even see the irony in it. I love it, right?
Why in society have we normalized dads being so invested in their daughter's virginity? Honestly, I find this kind of weird, and you're teaching your daughters to accept more restrictions on them. So can we unnormalize this culture and start holding sons and daughters to the same standard? Thanks!
Do you know what I find so funny? Men who obviously do not understand the female anatomy, because they love to talk about how we destroyed the way we can orgasm because we play with all these sex toys, cucumbers, remote controls. We just shove anything up there. So they question, how would my little old penis ever be able to satisfy you if you could just stick any random thing up your cooch? Well, newsflash, sir. You know that the female body can actually pitch an entire human being out of a tiny little hole. And then after, it recovers. And it goes back to normal. And we can orgasm as usual. So please, stop blaming vibrators and random objects on the reason why you can't make your woman orgasm. And I'm not even going to say anything about small penises. Because honestly, that's not really the problem. Most women actually orgasm from their clitoris. So why don't you just learn how to find it? Easy.
When I come home, I expect a home-cooked meal on the table and the house to be cleaned.
I'm sorry, what?
I said I expect a home-cooked meal on the table and the house to be cleaned.
Oh, I'm sorry. All I heard was, my name is Tate and I'd like to be single. In fact, let me make the bed for you on the couch tonight, because that's where you'll be sleeping.
What? That's what he said to her.
What?
That's what he said to her.
So you're not saying that to me?
No. One of my coworkers. That's what she said that her husband said to her.
Well, girl, she needs to find a new man.
I agree.
This is how I picture women who support Donald Trump. All right now, honey. Now, I just went and had all of our children. I took care of them for 18 years all by myself. I'm going to go ahead and cook you supper. And then I'm going to rub your feet while you yell things at me. And then, maybe you can just go vote for me. You vote for me because I don't have a choice because I'm a woman. What kind of decision making do I have? Skills, come on. My traits are cooking, cleaning, and having babies on my titty, but not in public.
Just a reminder that men painted naked women for literally thousands of years, and it's considered art and super embraced and put in all the museums all around the world, and nude photographs of women taken by men, that's totally okay. But the second a woman gets on OnlyFans or she starts to show off her own...
I just believe that men and women should be paid equally for the same jobs. Okay, yes, I fully agree. So because you want equal pay, I can kill you, right? Like I legally can punch you in the face and curb stomp you into the cement. So if I ask you out on a date and you say no, I can legally kill you because equal rights, equal fights, right? Right.
And share with me your most jaw-dropping mansplaining experience.
So I had been dating this man for a while, and we had decided to go on 2 dates in 1 week because he was going on a trip. So the first date that week, he insinuated for sex, and I said, no, I have my period today, so sorry, it actually just started. And then the end of that week, we went on another date, and he again insinuated sex, and I said, no, I'm still on my period. And then he began to call me a liar, because apparently a period only lasts 1 to 2 days, 3 maximum. And so me telling him that I am on my period during an entire week must be a lie. And then he began to argue that because I'm on birth control, I must be an even bigger liar. Because we don't get our periods on birth control. It controls the period.
Y'all, I'm currently in the back of a parking lot eating Chick-fil-A because if I go home, I'm going to throat punch my husband and brother-in-law. You see, they knew I was going to have a long day today at work. They knew. And yet, they had the audacity at like 6 o'clock to say, are we supposed to eat leftovers? Yeah, you're a grown man. Figure it out. I'm going to be home late. I do cook most nights. You can fend for yourself one night, honey. 2 hours later, 7:50. Have y'all eaten? Did you eat leftovers? No, we were waiting on you. Fool, you got another thing coming. If you think I'm going to come home and cook for you after I busted my butt all day at 8 o'clock at night, I'm no longer hungry.
And share with me your most jaw-dropping mansplaining experience.
I had a boy sleeping over at my house, and in the middle of the night, I had started my period, and so I had bled all over my bed sheets, which wasn't a big deal because they were like some Walmart brand bed sheets. I wasn't concerned. And he was confused and pissed off as to why I stayed up all night just free bleeding in bed. And I was like, well, I was sleeping. My period started in my sleep. And he's like, that's not how it works. I was like, what? Like, he argued with me saying that girls don't bleed in their sleep, as if it just stops while I'm sleeping. And I'm like, you know, that doesn't matter what I'm doing throughout the day. I could be going for a walk. I could be eating fucking Chipotle. I could be sleeping. My period will not stop under any circumstances. And he was adamant about the fact that your body just completely 100% shuts down while you're sleeping. And I never invited him over again.
This is why you shouldn't listen to fucking women on TikTok trying to teach men how to be men. Have you ever fucking worked out and just got your fucking pump on and you're fucking heated and you're like, let's fucking go? That's called fucking testosterone, baby. And guess what women don't have? They try to shame you. They try to call you crazy. They say lighten the fuck up. They're trying to emasculate. Fucking testosterone, baby. I need to keep working out.
Jaw-dropping mansplaining experience.
So I went on a date with a guy, and while I was in the bathroom, he went through the contents of my purse, really wasted no time exposing his red flags. I come back, and he has a tampon, fully, applicator, everything just out, and he's like, do you mind explaining this? Meanwhile, I'm like, I'm wondering the same thing. Like, what are you doing? Anyways, he basically was like, girls like you, like, I'm so glad I found this out. Girls like you are sexual deviants. The fact that this is even this big. And I'm like, you understand, like, it's literally just a little tiny cotton piece, and the whole plastic piece is what, like, up in us, right? Like, you get that? And he starts laughing at me and goes, anyone with half a brain knows that all of this goes up into a girl, and it just sits there. And he's like, and he was pulling a little plastic stem that goes up and down that, like, you know, you insert with, and he's like, this is how women get it out. And he was like, the fact that women have developed these, you know, dildo little period products, and I just, excuse.
You have to realize, if I'm doing something in a sexual manner and you acknowledge that in a respectful way, there is no problem with that. But when girls say stop sexualizing us, that means when we walk in front of a camera wearing a tank top doing a jank ass whoa, and the entire time you make something about our boobs or our nipples, that's sexualizing us. That's objectifying us and minimizing us solely to our parts. That's where the problem lies. But if I'm owning myself as a sexual being and you comment on that respectfully, I have no issues with that whatsoever. But sexualizing us and objectifying us is when we're solely just existing and you make everything about sex.
Hello, ma'am. Are you finding everything all right over here? Yes, darling, can you help me? I can barely read the name of this shade. The print is so tiny. Can you tell me what shade it is? Sure. This is Dominatrix. It's a really beautiful wine color. Well, that's a very risque name. I don't think a woman of my age should be wearing that. That's all right, ma'am. We can find you a different shade. Are there any other lipsticks that you've been looking at? Well, I think I like this one. Okay. Ma'am, this one's called Naked. Oh my, who comes up with these names? Men, mostly. Well, what about these two? I'm really partial to pink. Yes, those are both really lovely shades of pink. That one is Orgasm, and that one is Super Orgasm. Oh my god! Ma'am, I'm so sorry. We'll find you something with a more tame name. You know what, darling? I'm just gonna go with this one, number 69. That's not the number, that's the name.